is a production of the Department of Broadcasting and Journalism at Western Illinois University.
We do not just want to sit and talk about it. We want action to be put forth, and I feel like as if the administration does know what needs to be done, but they just fail to do it because they choose not to.
After a racist sign was left in a computer lab, students at WIU are left looking for answers.
And that's unacceptable, and we deserve better, and we demand better.
A local group is demanding action after they say Macomb City officials are not handling acts of discrimination in a just and fair way. Hear more from the group and officials coming up.
And it's a little warmer than yesterday, but we are still below average. Storm Team 3's Kason Frericks has a look at your weekend forecast. Live at 4 starts now.
Live from Saline Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
We will appoint a new chief. Part-time chief, 6-month probation.
The future of the Colchester Police Department is moving forward.
This comes after a committee meeting Tuesday night where city leaders agreed to appoint a part-time police chief. Good afternoon. Welcome to Live at 4. I'm Kelly Brown.
And I'm Devin Brooks. Tuesday night, a handful of residents showed up to speak out about their support for the department. This decision follows more than a month after its last chief retired at the end of August.
And we talk to one another. This is what can happen. And I'm very proud to be part of this group.
Officials say the new chief will be announced on Monday during a special council meeting at 6.
A local group feels Macomb officials are not listening and trying to bring solutions to allegations of discrimination in Macomb.
The Democratic women of McDonough County say they are fed up with how officials are responding to their claims, and they want to see change now.
My husband and I feel very much alone here. There's no community for us.
At this point, we need all of them to go through implicit bias training.
During a press conference on Tuesday, the Democratic women of McDonough County read off statements from community members about their thoughts and concerns involving race relations in Macomb. Speakers also talked about personal experiences and what they feel should be done to bring change. Macomb Mayor Mike Emmons says the city takes these issues seriously and wants everyone to feel included.
We've still got a long ways to go, obviously, about inclusivity and making folks of all races, all backgrounds, sexual orientation. No one should feel like they're unwelcome in Macomb.
Mayor Emmons says he's already working with other city officials to make changes and to address some of the issues brought to their attention.
We have continuing coverage following a reported racist sign that Western Illinois University officials say was posted in a computer lab on the campus. The university hosted an open forum inside the University Union Tuesday night to address concerns students have over the sign, as well as what steps the university is taking to address issues students of color face on campus. Some students believe the university needs to do more to address this issue, and these open forums can only do so much.
We handle things by talking, by no action. I don't feel like that this talk did anything for me, did anything for my people, did anything for this community at all.
We're working with them to provide action. We've provided action steps, but tonight they didn't want to hear that. They were hurt and they wanted a response from what happened today with the racist remarks. And I think it wouldn't have mattered.
This was the third open forum the university has hosted regarding racial issues on campus after interim president Martin Abraham hosted one back in October.
New at 4, Illinois Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton made a visit to Macomb last night to make a push for voters to be involved in the upcoming elections. Stratton spoke at a dinner hosted by the McDonough County Democratic Coalition. Stratton mentioned the accomplishments her and Governor Pritzker have made so far. She also talked about how important it is for voters to stay focused this election season.
All of you in this coalition are an example of what is possible, and you are at the forefront of a movement that we now see across our nation. You're coming together.
Stratton also touched on unemployment, cannabis, and health care last night.
Another day of below average temperatures in our area. The sun was trying to peek out of the clouds. Let's get a first check of the weather with Storm Team 3's Kason Frericks. Kason, is there any warm temperatures in sight?
Well, the warm temperatures are going to be on their way, but not quite today yet. We're currently sitting at a temperature of 32 degrees. With those cloudy skies, the sun has tried to peek out through the clouds a little bit today, and our winds have actually picked up a little bit out of the northwest at 11 miles an hour. So here to our surface map now, you can see we're currently under an area of high pressure, and that high pressure system goes all the way down from southern part of Texas all the way up into the northern part of the United States. Now that high pressure system is actually going to start to move our clouds out of our area and is going to make it much colder as we head into our overnight hours. So for tonight, we're going to hit a low of 15 degrees. Our clouds are going to clear out of our sky, so we'll have clear skies tonight, and our winds are going to die down just a little bit west-northwest at 9 miles an hour. Coming up later in the newscast, I'll tell you when we can expect the warm temperatures to come and what to expect for your weekend. For now, back to you guys over at the desk.
Well, developing news this afternoon out of Southern California. Minutes after the school day started at a high school, gunshots rang out. A shooter opened fire, killing 2 of his fellow classmates and injuring 3 others. The suspect currently is in custody as officials search for a motive. Camilla Bernal has the latest.
It's the sound that no student wants to hear.
It was like bang and then bang, bang, bang.
Just after 7:30 in the morning, local time, students at Saugus High School forced to run or hide.
We heard the 1 shot and then 4 after, and we just started running. And just all I heard was all these kids running and just screaming and calling their parents.
But some unable to escape.
Within 2 minutes, at 7:40, our first units arrived on scene and encountered in the quad area of the school multiple victims.
Officials confirming 2 students died after being treated. Others remained at the hospital. The shooter also among the injured.
Detectives have reviewed the video at the scene, which clearly show the subject in the quad withdraw a handgun from his backpack, shoot and wound 5 people, and then shoot himself in the head.
Authorities continuing their investigation and combing through social media in an attempt to figure out how and why.
We will run all the leads to ground, but at this point we have no indication of any motivation or ideology.
I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
New at 4, Macomb residents could soon find a statue of Honest Abe outside City Hall. 2 Macomb residents are proposing to construct a sculpture of Abraham Lincoln to be placed in front of City Hall. This sculpture would be a part of a statewide project looking for Lincoln. City leaders are excited for the project to bring more tourists to town, but are nervous for the upkeep of the sculpture.
Have to be very conservative with our spending. We want to save dollars and not spend a lot of money. There's a lot of bronze statues. They all look very similar. So this is something unique with the topiary and the Lincoln head. So people will hopefully recognize it as something special and come and check it out.
The Macomb Rotary is paying for the project. The statue is expected to cost $32,000 and will be done by the end of April, all pending the council's approval later this month. Plus, the options of how to get to class could soon expand. We'll tell what the Student Government Association is discussing. Live at 4, we'll be right back.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. Live at 4 is back in a moment.
Western Illinois University is here to serve your future. Large enough to provide opportunities, small enough to connect you to them. Your potential is our purpose. Explore your talents in a place you belong.
taking me home, taking me home. Bring me back to solid ground, taking me home, taking me home. Bring me back to solid ground, taking me home, taking me home. Bring me back, I can hear the sound.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. Live at 4 continues.
Welcome back to Live at 4. Students could soon have a new way to get around campus and the community. Western Illinois University Student Government Association is currently discussing adding electric bikes and scooters to campus. SGA President Colton Markey says the school has been talking about this addition for more than a year. During Tuesday night's meeting, students voiced their opinion about the addition of the bikes and scooters.
I've gone to like big cities where they have like the bike sharing stuff, and it's worked really well because it's a big space. I think my only concern is if I'm walking to campus on a quad, and all of a sudden 3 bikes are trying to go through all that's dangerous.
So I just think like us taking a chance on it wouldn't be too bad. It's not really going to hurt us in any way, like outside of what you said, like safety. And from the experience that I've had being in this town, I really don't think that our town has the infrastructure to support scooters or electric bikes. It snowed this past week. It's been incredibly icy on campus. If I can't make it across campus on my own 2 feet, how am I supposed to make it across campus on a scooter wheel?
The school would not be required to pay for the company to be in Macomb. Students would add their credit card to the app and pay each time they use the bike or scooters.
Well, if you've been to a football game at Western Illinois this year, you know you can't get in with a normal bag or purse. It has to be clear. News 3's Matt Widener explains why WIU is enforcing the new rule.
I think with the addition of alcohol into the stadium last year, it was something that we talked about heavily last year, and really this year then went full force with the implementation of it.
Clear bags, a policy introduced for the 2019 football season.
You know, I think anytime, especially when it involves the safety of individuals, spectators, fans, student athletes, you know, your own staff, you've always got to be at the forefront of that. And so for us, it was really about being proactive and being on the front end of it instead of reactive when a situation actually does happen.
WIU Athletic Director Daniel Supernaut says clear bags may become a trend during other sporting events on campus.
We haven't implemented it at any of our other facilities at this point, but I think it's going to continue to be a conversation of what does that look like, when does that happen if it does, and it's just something that, again, we have to be proactive of having the conversations and not reactive on the back end.
Supernaut says ushers must be able to see through the bags to allow fans into the stadium.
And as long as you can see through the bag of what is being brought in, that is all that is required.
Supernaut also explained that diaper bags and medical equipment are the only exceptions.
I think it's a good idea in practice. I mean, I could see where the school is coming from with it. The pros do outweigh the cons with it.
WIU student Anthony Martino is one of the fans standing in the crowd during the home games. He agrees the precaution is worth it.
Some people could say it's an invasion of privacy, but in the long run, if they're doing it to make us safer, then I guess there's worse things.
For News 3, I am Matt Widener.
And for more information on what's allowed at the games, visit the WIU Athletics website.
Temperatures are in the forecast for our weekend. I'll have all the details coming up when Live at 4 returns.
Rooted in teaching tradition, the desire to impact lives through education marks our Western identity. We believe every student with the hope to succeed deserves a chance at our institution. We're invested in honing each student's individual strengths to turn that hope into promise. Our commitment shows in everything that we do. It guides our faculty with empathy. It grows our students with courage. It moves each of us with purpose. In Macomb and Quad Cities, all walks of life meet to share cultures, ideas, and aspirations. Together, our students welcome new perspectives, helping them bring true value wherever they go next. Whatever the next challenge or change we face, our fighting spirit strengthens and evolves. With fortitude, we remain devoted to our vision. Brave and loyal, we stand as Leathernecks. For our students, for our region, for our state, and beyond. And when we stand together, we stand up for what matters, going forth as one. And that unity takes us far beyond what we've ever imagined.
Welcome back and good afternoon, Macomb. Right now we're being treated with cloudy skies out there. Temperatures right at the freezing mark, 32 degrees. Our dew point is at 23 degrees. Our humidity is at 65%. And our winds, they have increased just a little bit out of the northwest at 11 miles an hour. Let's take a look at our almanac here. Our average high for this time of the year is 52 degrees. We were very far below that today and much of this week. Our average low is 32 degrees. Our record is 77 degrees, and our record low was 5 degrees. Let's take one look at our jet stream here. You can see windier. The jet stream has much stronger winds up to the north of us here right now, and we can see that on our surface map here. We're in an area of high pressure, and that high pressure stretches all the way from Texas all the way up into the northern United States. Now, that high pressure system is going to start to move some of those clouds out of our area that we've experienced today. And we can see that here on our infrared. You can see the clouds starting to move their way out slowly, but they'll start to move their way out, and that will allow us to have clear skies and bring our temperatures much cooler during tonight. Here's our radar. There's nothing on it. We have no rain, no precipitation, and that's what we're going to see as we head into our weekend as well. For our temperatures today from around the area, Burlington hit a high of 33 degrees, Keokuk a high of 34, Quincy got all the way up to 38 degrees today. Tonight, however, we're really going to see our temperatures plummet, and this is the last night we're going to see these low of temperatures. Springfield's going to have a low of 16, Peoria at 18, Beardstown also at 16, and Macomb, we're going to have a low of 15 tonight. For tomorrow, our temperatures, this is going to be a very beautiful day outside. Burlington, 44 degrees, Keokuk, 46, Quincy, 47, and Beardstown at 43. And then for tomorrow night, we're going to see temperatures drop right around the 20-degree mark, Beardstown at 21, Springfield at 21, and Quincy at 23 degrees. Now for Macomb, let's look for tonight. We're going to have a low of 15 degrees. Those clear skies is what's going to make it much cooler. And our winds, they're going to drop down just a little bit from what we have right now out of the west-northwest at 9 miles an hour. For tomorrow, however, we're going to have a beautiful day, sunny skies for the entirety of our day, a high of 43, and those winds are going to be real light and gentle, west-northwest at 4 miles an hour. And let's take a look at our 5-day forecast here. So Friday, obviously, we're going to have sunny skies all day, a high of 43 degrees, low of 21. And then Saturday, for our football game, we're going to have a high of 39, low of 28. And then Sunday, there's a possibility for a little rain shower in the morning, but we're going to have a high of 43, low of 28, and then as we start to head into our next week, we're going to be right in the lower to middle 40s, and we're going to drop down to right around the freezing mark for our overnight hours. So some relief is on the way. Temperatures are going to rise up a little bit, and we're going to be just about at our average now for this time of the year.
It feels like we're getting a spring maybe right on.
I know, we like to see those 40s. All right, thanks, Kason, and it'll be a little chilly for the last home game, right?
Yeah, absolutely, Devin. So coming up next on Live at 4, WIU football has their final home game this season. Plus, men's soccer was in a very close matchup this afternoon against Omaha to try and advance to the Summit League final. Also, men's basketball had another nail-biting performance here at home, but one player ended up making history for the Leathernecks. All that and more next in sports.
University is here to serve your future. Large enough to provide opportunities, small enough to connect you to them. Your potential is our purpose. Explore your talents in a place you belong. Western Illinois University is here to serve your future. Large enough to provide opportunities, small enough to connect you to them. You are unique, and we are committed to you. Become the future you at WIU Quad Cities.
Welcome back to Live at 4. I'm Will Beesing. A familiar face is back in the dugout at Western Illinois for the women's softball team. Holly Van Vlymen is now the new interim head coach at WIU. The former Hall of Famer who previously coached for WIU from 2006 to 2017. In those years, she led the Leathernecks to the school's first NCAA tournament win and was a three-time Coach of the Year. Moving indoors to the hardwood, the Leathernecks men's basketball team was at home against UT Martin last night, and boy was it entertaining. We get started into the second half. A huge rebound by Roderick Smith, which then led to Kobe Webster driving all the way, then past the UT Martin defender and scores. That would then give WIU a 14-point lead in the middle of the second half. Then a few possessions later, James Clark gets a pass from Zion Young, drives and converts on the and one. WIU would then hold their lead 76-70, but with only 6 minutes left in the game, Parker Stewart drives and gives a pass to Miles in favor of UT Martin with less than 5 minutes left to play. Zion Young drives into the lane, takes his shot, but it is in fact blocked by Parker Stewart. Then he takes it only to miss the shot. Then it is eventually recovered by Steve Wooten to give UT Martin the lead. Then 87-82. To close out the game, WIU goes for one last gasp with Kobe Webster in the lane to close the score. It would not be enough for the Leathernecks as UT Martin hangs on with the win with a final score of 98-91. The big story of the night was Kobe Webster, as he is only the 24th men's basketball player to reach the 1,000-point mark in program history. Head coach Billy Wright gave his thoughts on how Kobe has made a huge impact towards this team throughout his career here at Western.
It shows his commitment to working at his craft. We emphasize the fact of being a pro's pro. This is a lifestyle. He's embraced that lifestyle of a student athlete, and all of them do. But he came in ready from day one, and it's hard to do as a freshman to make that transition from high school ball to Division I, and he's done a tremendous job being consistent with that.
Women's hoops, WIU took Illinois Springfield on Tuesday in the second quarter. As they're getting ready in the second quarter, Dana Nichols with the rebound will eventually get the rebound and then gives it to Grace Lutz for the spin-around layup. Later in the second, Olivia Kaufman can't find the lane, but then dishes it quickly to Annabelle Grettinger for the three, which was 1 of 16 for Western. Later, a loose ball, both teams trying to get it, as you can see here, but then Elizabeth Lutz picks up the trash and takes it home. As we roll into the fourth quarter, Cara Flores with a quick pass to Sam Pryor, who kisses it off the glass. The Leathernecks would eventually win with a final score of 91-51. After the game, head coach J.D. Gravina talked about how during this game he was able to build different rotations after they had the lead early.
You see these where the starters play for, 25, 28 minutes, and then they're done for the game, and then here comes the rest of the bench all playing together. Well, here we mixed a lot of people in with a couple different starters. So I think we got some pretty good looks at some kids, and, we'll continue to kind of feel out who's gonna get those minutes and who's gonna play well.
Tonight, now 2-1 Leathernecks will take on the 1-1 Sycamores of Indiana State. Tip-off is scheduled for 5:30 tonight. Despite the rocky start that the WIU men's soccer team endured at the beginning of the season, the resiliency ended up guiding them to the eight Summit League awards. The Leathernecks had 3 first-team all-newcomers selections, as well as 1 second-team honoree. Junior Paul Kierdorf won Defensive Summit Player League Player of the Year, and Dr. Eric Johnson was named Co-Coach of the Year. Unfortunately, Omaha had defeated WIU with a final score of 3-2 in overtime. Their season is officially over. But as we now move on from the pitch over to the gridiron, WIU football team has their last home game at Hanson Field for the 2019 season. The Leathernecks will face Southern Illinois University for Senior Day at Hanson Field. WIU will honor the seniors before the game, including the 11 starters. The game will officially kick off at 2:30. That's sports. Final word is next.
We are Western Illinois University, and we are amazing.
On Fridays, we wear purple.
We are home to professional athletes and actors,
Lawmakers, CEOs, a civil rights leader, and a 3-star general, plus over 100,000 other impressive alumni.
Our programs are mighty. Our law enforcement program is the largest in the state of Illinois and is known internationally.
Supply chain management boasts a nearly 100% job placement rating.
And cornfields might surround us, but we have a fine arts program that can rival any large city.
It's okay to take courses in wine tasting, wedding planning,
scuba diving, grain drying, Renaissance art, engineering computational methods, or advanced federal taxation.
Sometimes our classes even take us to Disney World.
The Apostle Islands, Greece, France, all around the world.
For fun, we spray paint a bulldog statue, race cardboard boats, and shave our heads and dance all night to raise money for charities.
Not only do we paint the paws before homecoming, but we show our love for our mighty mascot, Colonel Rock, with painted statues all over town.
Sometimes we play volleyball with a giant ping ball, and sometimes we play in the mud.
It's totally normal to look at our res hall windows and see a hot air balloon floating by.
Or experience all 4 seasons in one day.
Hey alumni, jump on that Amtrak from Chicago or St. Louis or anywhere in between.
And come back to get a horseshoe,
listen to the award-winning Jazz Studio Orchestra,
or tailgate before a D1 game.
Not every school can say they started the 4-year cost guarantee program
and have a second campus on the banks of the mighty Mississippi.
We are Western Illinois University.
And we are the Leathernecks.
And the holiday season is upon us. The Salvation Army's Red Kettle is a holiday staple, and volunteers began ringing bells for donations this week.
88.3 The Dog participated last night at Hy-Vee. You can help out the needy by visiting registertoring.com. I think it was a good thing for Emily Stern, who's in charge of the dog, to go out and do that for a great cause. And then it was also good they were able to stay indoors and do it because it was cold yesterday.
Yes, we've had cold temperatures this entire week, but we're actually going to see a bit of a warm up here. For our Friday, we're going to have a high of 43 degrees, partly cloudy skies, low of 21. And then Saturday is also going to be very nice, high of 39, low of 28. And as we head into our next week, our temperatures are going to be right middle to lower 40s, and then we're going to be right at freezing for our lows at night. So it's going to be very beautiful outside.
Sounds a lot better than this week. That's all for us today.
But we are online all the time. Stay up to date with us, news3wiu.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Just search our handle, News3WIU. You can also search for us on YouTube and subscribe.
Thank you for joining us this evening.
And be sure to join us tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for Good Morning Macomb. But for now, from all of us at News 3, have a good night, Macomb.